Hi and welcome to Cook It Kids. Today we're going to be making chocolate dipped cheesecake bites. So let's get right into it. You will need 225 grams or 1.5 cups of a digestive type biscuit or graham cracker. You need 70 grams or 5 tablespoons of butter, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 150 grams or 3/4 of a cup of sugar, 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, 18 grams or 2 level tablespoons of cornstarch or arrowroot, 2 eggs, and 450 grams or 16 ounces of cream cheese. That's plain cream cheese. For the chocolate ganache covering, you're going to need 225 grams or 16 ounces of chocolate and 225 mils or 16 ounces of fresh cream. Head down to the comments below to find our chocolate ganache video and you'll be able to use that for the chocolate covering for your cheesecake. So let's get started on the cheesecake. The equipment you will need are 2 mixing bowls, a pot stand, some parchment or greaseproof paper, a scissors for cutting it, an 8-inch square tin, or as close to that as you have. I have a measuring tape here just in case you do want to use one, a bag for crushing the digestive biscuits, a rolling pin for crushing the biscuits, and a hand mixer. You now need to prepare the biscuits. So I have the freezer bag from earlier. I'm just going to pop them in here. This is great fun. You need to make sure that you take the air out. So you squish it like that, you take the air out, seal it, and then you straighten them out a little bit, kind of like that. And this is going to be a little bit noisy, but we just give them a good out bash. Make sure that you don't angle this down, because if you do, what will happen is you'll rip the bag. So I'm getting it on the flat edge there like that. That looks good. Just want to make sure that we've got no big pieces in there. So if you have a look around it, yep, that's perfect. Now, so I get my big bowl, pour that in, and then I'm going to pour in the butter that I melted. Actually, I'm going to spoon just to mix this up. So I need to mix this. You want to try and get all of the biscuit coated in that butter, because what the butter is going to do is it's going to seal the biscuit. It's going to solidify it, because this is our base for our cheesecake, right? Now, so that's that ready. Now we just need to prepare our tin. And really what we're looking for is we're looking for enough paper that's going to go over the edges of, this is kind of handy, it doesn't have to be perfect because we want it to actually go over the edges. Normally you don't. So, because what's going to happen with this is we're going to use it to help us take the cheesecake out of the tin later on. So we get that in there. And we're going to use another piece. And this time we want to go this way with it. So set the opposite way to the way we were. So my second piece, if you can just see, I just want to show you, it's shorter than the tin. Now, if you can get a little bit of butter and put it onto some parchment, we're going to grease the tray a little bit just to help it stick down. It doesn't have to be very particular about it. You just need to get a little bit of grease in there, so that just helps. See the way that sticks there now to that, okay? Now, here's the part where now what we're going to do is we're going to fill the tin with the crumb mixture. What you want to do is you want to get into the corners and you want to press it right down. So, see it there? Press it down, and it'll start to take shape, and you'll start to get an even spread of biscuit and butter mixture for your base. Now, I know you've washed your hands before you did this, so you can actually get your hands in there and press it down just like that, right down. Now, that's our crumbless mixture all ready, so I'll put that aside. Now, the next part is we need to do our topping for our cheesecake. First thing you need to do is you need to get your cream cheese. I'm gonna take out a tablespoon there just to help me get it out of the bowl. And what you want to do is you want to use your hand mixer, and you want to mix this up until it's nice and light and fluffy. If you like, you can put a cloth underneath your mixer here, or your bowl here. You can put a cloth underneath your bowl, and that stops it from moving around. And you always need to hold the bowl with one hand, and then you're going to use the mix with the other. Don't turn it on until it's all the way in into your cream cheese into the bowl. Hold it and then turn it on. Now, our cream cheese is just mixed up there. I'm going to put in our sugar. And once you put in one ingredient, give it a little mix, and then we'll put in another one. Next thing we're going to put in is our 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, our cornstarch, or corn flour, or arrowroot, whichever you have. That all goes in there. Again, a little mix. One thing you always need when you're baking is your spatula, and this is my one. So I'm going to use my spatula to just take all the ingredients down from the side of the bowl so that we get it mixed in. So you're using the side of it. So see how here I've got it, and I've got it at a slight angle, and I scrape around the bowl like that. And that gives me, now, that's that. I'll leave that there for a moment. Next thing I'm just going to put in is our vanilla extract. Scrape that in too. Oh, it smells delicious. You should have a smell of that. It's very strong, so that's why we only need a little bit of it. And we'll put in our eggs, and then we can mix them all in together. So it's 2 eggs. Now, if you like, you can separate the eggs. You can crack the eggs into a different bowl, which means that if you crack it into this bowl, it means that if there's any shell, you'll be able to take the shell out before it goes into your mixture. So I do that and crack it into there. There's no shell, but if there was, I could use the big shell and just scoop it out. It adheres to that. And then I'll just put that in there like that. Now, wipe my hands. And now I'm going to mix this. Again, I'm going to use my spatula, and I'm just going to scrape around the edges and make sure that everything is mixed up together. Get that all in there. Oh, look at that. Now, we're going to get our crumb mixture and pour the topping on. You don't want to waste any of it. Yum. Now, so we just gently push it out to the edges. You don't want to push too hard, You want to nearly coax it, is the word, out to the edges there. Lovely. Make sure we don't waste any of it. Get it all off the spatula. Does it feel funny? Yeah. Oh, it smells delicious. And I can use my cloth now to give my counter a little bit of a wipe. Now, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it in a preheated oven at 325 degrees Fahrenheit, 160 degrees Celsius or gas mark 3. And what you want is you want to put it in for about 30 minutes. There's going to be a little bit of a jiggle left in it, but it's going to be lovely baked cheesecake. Our cheesecake was cooked in the oven and then put into the freezer for about 2 hours. Just before I put it in the freezer, I covered it with some cling film, and that has now been removed. And the great thing about the overlap is you can just pull out the cheesecake like that and start cutting it up into 1-inch squares. Just like that. Get a lovely piece of cheesecake, and now the fun begins. Dip it in our chocolate. And here you have our chocolate dipped cheesecake bites. As you can see, they absolutely look delicious. I hope you enjoy them. There's obviously more than 4, so I hope you enjoy making them and enjoy eating them.